deactivated. Perimeter deactivated. Perimeter deactivated.
Evening all, welcome back to Total Dust, and today what we're going to talk about is actually what you saw in the title credits there. That was my tribute to the running man. I'm calling it the Running Jadek because he was the one who I think found, he tweeted it and I saw it and I'm like, can I replicate that? And yes I can. Before you start kind of blurfing at me, just bear in mind there's no tactical use for it whatsoever. You desynchronize yourself from the server, so you can't jump out and kill people in the red line. Doesn't work. Yes, I tried it. Yes, I'm a tryhard. But anyway, what we're talking about today is going to be an interesting kind of discussion around Dust Z. This is my new concept of where, I know they want to call it Legion, Project Legion. Now, when you hear the word Legion, you think of 1,000 troops marching into battle, Spartan-esque. But it's not the case. That's not the way it goes. I think actually what they should call the next Dust project is Dust Z. And basically it's Daisy. For those that don't know, it's Daisy. It's a parody on Daisy. And yes, I'm still trying to get people to watch my Daisy videos. Yes, they're terrible. But once you get past the terribleness, they're not bad. Seriously. Anyway, you'll notice, actually, that's just before we go into our discussion, you'll notice that I am now doing exactly what I hate. And this led to an interesting discussion that we had in gang with Mr. Bear, which is all about kind of the tactics of getting up on high. And Bear put it very succinctly by saying, you kind of have to do it before they do it to you. So look at that. Both of us rushed this thing, what do you call it? The mushroom. And lo and behold, that was because, well, look, 2 dropships were rushing that, and I did it to stop them doing it, basically. But I guess I'm no better than them, and I've got to admit, we have won almost every single match by doing this horrid tactic of getting a dropship immediately as the match starts, getting a dropship, getting up on high, and dropping the spawn pad so that you can then spawn blah-de-blah-de-blue. Not in all cases. Sometimes it's a stupid thing to do, but the vast majority of maps, there is always a benefit to do it. So anyway, that's me just saying, yes, I'm a hypocrite. I just did it to stop others doing it because, this whole map, you see I've jumped down, so I've already given them back it because, yeah, they've got 2 or 3 dropships already en route to that place. I'm not going to bother fighting that on my own. So I did give up. And yes, they spend the entire match shooting from that high point, which just seems so pointless. Anyway, we're not going to be negative, not going to be negs on this one. We're going to be povs on this one because let's go back to our Daisy or Dust Z discussion because really what I think Legion is going to be and the desire behind Legion, as far as I understand it from reading the PC Gamer article and various kind of other things I've read, is they want Dust to migrate or transform into a variant of Borderlands and DayZ, which is a great pedigree. That's a really cool thing to do because you think about it, Borderlands has the wonderful mission system and I guess the wide open kind of maps, instance-based PvE, which is best in the game. You won't find PvE better than Borderlands does it. And you then have DayZ with its kind of open sprawling world, pretty brutal PvP where you can lose your guns. It's not like Destiny where you're playing with your your permanent inventory, or as I like to call it, training wheels. You're in Destiny. I can't understand what the fun of it is when you unlock something and then you've always got it. I guess I'm just so used to Eve now, where they kind of say, here's a nice shiny little bauble. Enjoy. Oh, you lost it? Oh, what a shame. And I like that. I really just like that. It's like, oh, you spent a year building a Titan, did you, brah? Oh, you jumped it into a system where you didn't know people were there. Oh, and you lost it? Oh, sorry. And I just like that. I think it's cruel. And I think that is what makes it even better. Because in Destiny, once you've unlocked something, you've got it forever. And I think that's slightly dull. Yeah, anyway, so post in the comments, tell me what you think. Is permanent inventory or, I don't know, infinite inventory better than disposable and stuff? I don't know. Personally, I think it is, but that's just me. I like the risk of it because, yeah, you can lose it. So anyway, here we go, round 2. So I'm failing terribly to get back up onto this ledgy thing. I was raging like crazy in the gang at this point because it's just me versus a whole tabletop of dudes. And I think, I don't know, it just drives me kind of slightly insane. But as you can see, I'm trying, dude. That's what I do. I try hard. And if you get what I mean. So anyway, I think from the kind of mixture of those two games, Borderlands and DayZ, that is going to be awesome because I like the vision. I mean, I remember hearing the vision of, you would go and fight drones. So Concord had these drones that basically go and prowl. Is it Concord? No, whatever, drones. Recovery drones. So they go and scan battlefields and pick up guns and stuff. And your job is to, in a wide open map, I hope, go and find these drones, shoot them and take the loot. And then you've got to get the loot back from where you shot it all the way back to your, I guess, base, whatever that may be. And that's pretty awesome. I like that. Because that's exactly like DayZ. DayZ is all about finding loot and then, getting it somewhere safe so you can then use it. So I'm all for that. I think this is just going to be amazeballs if they can do it. So I think, a lot of the irony behind this is that when I figured out that kind of little glitch where you can bugger off into the map's distance, is how huge these maps are. And I mean massive, huge. It would probably take you, if you walked from one corner to the other, if the red line wasn't there, it could take you about 5 minutes, which doesn't sound much, but you could walk across the city of London in 5 minutes, and that's the city, the financial bit. So I don't know, I like that. I think that's pretty awesome. I honestly would urge CCP to, just for an event, get rid of the red line, just for a special one-off event. If you can do it, I will love you forever, because I just think if you could get rid of that red line just for one single match and watch what people would have to do. Dropships would become important again. LAVs would be needed to move people around. Just imagine that. I mean, it would be a nightmare to fight because all of these people who use aim-assisted, rail rifles, breach rifles, combat rifles, bloody blue blop, would have a problem with that because you're not actually going to be very close. So it's like DayZ, the assault rifle would die because it would be a stupid thing to run, and the sniper rifle would be king. And you'd probably have 20 different versions of sniper rifles. And this is why the range is the interesting part here, because we are always fighting within 100 meters of each other. Always, literally always. And I think if you took off that red line, with the current maps as they are now, you would have an engagement zone of, 1,000 meters, which I think is interesting. I think that would become a very, very, interesting battle to begin with, because 1,000 meters, you would literally need snipers, and I think I like that. I just love the idea of it. I just, when you kind of experiment, one of the best things about glitches just generally is that you can go and explore, and these maps are huge. There is a huge surface area on almost all of the maps, not all of them, but almost all of them. And it would just be interesting to go and explore them. But that's the kind of games I play. I guess that's the kind of player I am. And I guess the vast majority of Dust players aren't like that. I would almost say the vast majority, again, sweeping statement incoming, of players who play Dust would hate DayZ because it is such a non-action-based game. It's actually based upon cunning, stealth, and I guess waiting. So, it's a different thing. And I guess that's kind of my concern. And I guess clumsily I've arrived at my first conclusion, which is Legion potentially will have none of the gameplay aspects that Dust has currently, because you will have, in theory, open maps that you can't necessarily, it's not an instant battle per se. Yes, there will be instant battles. Yes, there will still be that continuation of the pub matches. But I would say once you introduce that mechanic where people can go and explore a planet, find drones, shoot them, get their loot and bring it back, that is going to be the vast majority of what people do. And that in reality is what the game will sell itself upon. So it's going to, I don't think a lot of Dust players are going to like that. A lot of Dust players are very used to being very good with one fit and running it and getting good scores. As soon as you take that away and you make it more now about looting and range, and snipers will own you because you'll never see them. I mean, that's the thing of DayZ that got my goat, was you never see the goddamn sniper that kills you, ever. You just die. You just literally keel over and it says, you are dead. And I think that's the reality of a lot of this kind of thing. So, you know, I think people will have to get used to that when Legion does arrive. I am being positive. I still think Legion's coming. I still think it's excellent. FanFest is only... 4 months away. So I'm excited. Are you excited? I'm excited. I don't know what I'm excited about, but I am excited nonetheless. Because I just think that, you know, they're going to have to talk about something to do with Dust, right? Right, bro, right? I mean, I would have thought they would, but I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, I'm curious to see... I guess I'm curious to see where it's going. The game feels great at the moment. I know, I mean, I'm doing these videos for what, 2 years now? Christ, 2 years, jeez. As I sit here, I feel a lot older. And I feel really, really kind of like, wow, I'm a bitter vet of this game. But I've got to admit, you know, any game, it's like Eve, any game that can that can still keep me logging on pretty much most days is a good game. I know I'm a bit of a troll, and I know I kind of annoy a lot of people, and I know when I'm playing in the game as well, I can be a right annoying knobhead. But I love you all, I really do. I'm having one of those, maybe it's the drugs I'm on, I don't know. But I am so doped out at the moment, it's crazy. I've got a cold, by the way. I'm not running lines or anything, just better clear that one up very quickly. I'm actually on like really, really powerful drug medicine. So I love you all. I think you're awesome. I love you so much. You're welcome to come around my house for a slice of quiche whenever you wish. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, I think just generally the game is amazing fun still. And I think what I would say, this is a little thing for you, is whatever annoys you in the game, just go and do it. So if you get pissed off with swarmers, just get a swarmer and go and swarm. I hated the people who got drop pads upon high, so I just started doing it to sort of prove a point, and lo and behold, I do it every match now. So, you know, I'm a hypocrite, but at the end of the day, I'm more forgiving of it. You know, I hated shotgun scouts, so I started doing it myself. I bought an Apex suit, would you believe? I'll show it in the next video. I actually did buy an Apex suit because it's hilarious fun. I bought the Serpent one just because it was a cloaked shotgunner, and I quite like the idea of that. I'm still terrible with the shotgun. I barely get 2 kills a match, but it's fun. And I think this is the thing you have to kind of just factor in, I guess, is that whatever annoys you in the game, just try it, just run it and get used to it, learn how they do it, and then maybe you'll see the weaknesses within it. So the next thing I hate is heavies. I don't not like heavies. Maybe I was a bit harsh on them in my last video saying that they need to be nerfed. They probably don't, but I think at the moment it's just a bit frustrating when, you know, somebody pulls the heavy card. You know what I mean by that? It's like when you're fighting a good match and they bring out heavy, it just feels like, oh, did you really need to do that? You know, it just feels wrong. I don't know. This must be just me, but I just feel that when I've plasma cannoned a few dudes in a row, they always resort to heavy suits because that's going to be a lot more difficult for me to plasma, and probably, you know, 5-6 times out of 10 they'll get me, which seems to be the issue. But anyway, so I think, you know, my conclusion number 2, there you go, a lot of conclusions today, is that you probably should try the things you hate. And I certainly hated spawn pads upon high with a passion, to the point where I even posted on the forums, which is a rarity, let me tell you. But and I just thought, well, you know, really I should understand both sides of the argument. This is probably the one thing you do need to understand, is whenever you're critical of something, you do need to be aware of the devil's advocate point of view. And I thought, well, if they're doing it, I'll do it, and let's see really what benefit it gives you. And the answer is extremely good, because the reality is that you'll win most maps if you do it. Ones like this, they pick the wrong point. You don't put your pads above the mushroom, you put it above A, the building at A, or where the supply depot is. You put them there because that's a little bit more useful. But It's by the by. We're not going to do a tactics one today. So I think just generally, I would say that the game is feeling very good. It is still an incredibly fun game to play. I have not yet found a replacement for it. And I think there's, it's interesting because we're about to do our advent calendar. That's right. If you remember our advent calendar from last year, then wow, really? Because no one watched them. Well, no, they did. Some of them were really popular. But if I put words like, I play Minecraft, I think pretty much everybody boycotted that one because Minecraft and me, not a good mix. But I think this is kind of the thing. That at this time of year, because the Steam sale is on, because there's obviously lots of sales on as with the shops as well, it is a good time to go and buy some games. So I think definitely look around. I would say there's probably a good selection of games at the moment out there that are really good fun, but we always return to Dust because Dust is still the incredibly fun floating shooter, which is the only way I can describe it. It's an incredibly fun floating shooter. And it does give me a lot of enjoyment to play it, and I think this is because of reasons like that. It's just fun, you get good with a gun, and you get good with the map and your knowledge of it, and that's it. That's part of the game. So there we go. Now, interesting ending here. Let me show you what we got to salvage. Now, I don't know how you guys did in the officer event, but I did terribly until the last day. And then the day after for some reason. Now this is in theory the day after the event finished. Look at what salvage I get here. Look at that. Seriously, can you see that? 3 Thales and 3 Aldin's Imp 10 Forge Gun. Now if you add to that, in this day alone, in fact the last 48 hours from this recording this game, I got the rail rifle, the new one. I got the sniper rifle fork one. I got the combat rifle, I got the scrambler rifle, and I got the swarm launcher. So I've had 7 unique pieces of officer gear now, all in the last day. So maybe they tweaked something, I don't know. But as you can see, that's pretty funny. As you can see, I'm fixated on the fact that I got 2 pieces of officer gear. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe and leave me a comment because, hey, we're horrible YouTubers. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.